Look, the economic world is screaming right now, and most people are just covering their ears. Here's the deal. If you graduated a few years ago, like I did in 2020, you entered a world that felt like it was falling apart. I get it. We saw the market tank, then skyrocket, then get hit by inflation. That makes a simple sandwich cost $15. It is brutal. But here is the anti-consensus truth that no one at the big banks will tell you. The chaos is actually your biggest leverage. I remember being 22 and terrified. I was working my corporate job at a Fortune 500 company, feeling like a tiny gear in a massive machine. I tried to get rich quick with options and speculative junk stocks because I was impatient. Oh shit. I lost money faster than I could earn it. It was a wake-up call. I realized that trying to outsmart the market was a fool's game. Since then, I focused on a simple aggressive strategy that took me to $120,000 in net worth. I did it with discipline and a complete lack of ego. In this video, we are going deep into why you are stuck and how to break out. The biggest mistake is the illusion of safety. You think keeping $50,000 in a savings account is safe? It is not. With inflation running at the rates we have seen, that money is losing purchasing power every single hour. You are literally watching your future self get poorer while you sleep. The goal is not to save. The goal is to own. You need to own the means of production. That means buying assets that grow faster than the government can print money. For me, that foundation is built on 70% VOO. VO is the S&P 500. It is the 500 biggest companies in America. When you buy VO, you are betting on human ingenuity and corporate greed. And let me tell you, corporate greed is a very reliable bet. Then I add 20% SHD. This is the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. It is for the cash flow. It is for the psychological win of seeing dividends hit your account every quarter. The final 10% is VUG for growth. This is the aggressive stuff, but notice the math. 90% of my portfolio is boring. Boring is what pays for the house. Boring is what buys the freedom. Most of you are doing the opposite. You are putting 90% into random coins or AI startups. You do not understand. Stop it. You are not a venture capitalist. You are a person trying to survive and thrive in a high-cost world. Look, I am not here to give you a lecture. I am your wealth partner. I am the guy who stayed up until 2 a.m. reading Ray Dalio and checking mortgage rates, so you do not have to. The housing market in 2026 is a mess. Rent is up, debt is peaking. The only way out is to live below your means and invest the difference. If you are making $80,000, you need to live like you make $50,000. I know that sucks to hear. You want the nice car and the expensive vacations, but do you want the car or do you want the freedom to never have to take orders from a boss again? I chose freedom. I chose to buy VTI and VUBI weekly without fail every 2 weeks when the paycheck hits the money goes out. I do not check the price. I do not care if the market is red or green today. I am buying time. If the market crashes 20%, I do not panic. I celebrate that as a 20% discount on my future freedom. You need to shift your brain from a consumer mindset to an owner mindset. Consumers see a price drop and get scared. Owners see a price drop and buy the floor. Here's another hard truth. Nobody is coming to save you. The pension plans are gone. Social Security is a question mark. Your company sees you as a line item on a spreadsheet. If layoffs happen tomorrow, do you have the runway to survive? If you do not have 6 months of cash in an emergency fund, stop investing in stocks right now. Build that wall of protection first. Then and only then do you go on the offensive. Wealth is a game of stamina. It is not about who makes the most in 1 year. It is about who stays in the game for 30 years. The power of compounding is a mathematical miracle, but it requires time. If you start today with $500 a month, you will be shocked at where you are in 10 years. If you wait 5 years to start, you have to invest double to reach the same goal. Time is the only asset you cannot buy back. So here is your homework. Open a brokerage account, set up an automatic transfer, buy a broad market index fund, and then go live your life. Stop watching the 1-minute candles, stop listening to the doom and gloom news, focus on your skills, focus on your health, and let the math do the heavy lifting. I am walking this path right beside you. I still have the same anxieties. I still worry about the housing market, but I have a plan, and having a plan is the difference between being a victim of the economy and being a master of it. Stay sober, stay real, stay in the game. I will see you in the next one. Peace. Look. We need to talk about the psychological trap of the 20s and 30s. Social media is a lie. You see people on your feed with the new Porsche or the Maldives trip. Most of them are drowning in debt. They are trading their future for a temporary hit of dopamine. Do not be that person. Being wealthy is not about what you spend. It is about what you keep. I hit $120,000 not because I have a massive salary, but because I have a low burn rate. I automated my life. Automate your bills. Automate your investments. Take the human emotion out of the equation. Humans are bad at math and great at fear. When the market drops, your brain says sell, the math says buy. Trust the math. Always trust the math. Think about the S&P 500. It has survived world wars. It has survived pandemics. It has survived 10% inflation. It will survive whatever 2026 throws at it. If the top 500 companies in the US go to zero, your cash in the bank won't save you anyway because the world would be over. So why worry? Invest in the winners. Invest in the companies that provide the services you use every day. When you pay your phone bill or buy your groceries, realize that some of that money can come back to you as a shareholder. That is the flip. Be a player in the system, not just a victim of it. I get it. It feels slow. Watching a $1,000 investment turn into $1,100 over a year feels like nothing, but then it becomes $10,000, then $100,000. Then the dividends start covering your grocery bill, then they cover your rent, then they cover your life. That is the dream, and it is achievable for anyone with a laptop and a little bit of discipline. Stop looking for the secret sauce. The secret sauce is consistency. The secret sauce is not panic selling when the news says the sky is falling. The sky has been falling since the beginning of time. Yet here we are, the world keeps turning and the markets keep moving. I want you to be the person who looks back in 10 years and says, I am glad I started, not the person who says, I wish I started. The difference is just one click, one deposit, one decision to prioritize your future self over your current urges. I am drinking my coffee right now, thinking about how far we can go. This community is about getting there together, no fluff, no scams, just the long road to freedom. If you are still here listening, it means you have the attention span to actually get wealthy. Most people dropped off in the first 30 seconds. They want the 15-second tip to get rich. There is number 15-second tip. There is only the work and the wait. Keep your head down, keep your savings rate high. Keep your portfolio simple. You do not need a financial advisor to charge you 1% to do what you can do yourself in 5 minutes. Use that 1% to buy more VU. Over 30 years, that 1% fee can cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. Be your own advocate. Learn the basics of the tax code. Understand why a Roth IRA is your best friend. Understand why capital gains are taxed differently than your salary. This is the real education. This is what they should have taught us in school instead of advanced calculus. But they didn't, So we learn it here in the trenches, in the late night chats, in the real world. I am proud of you for taking this step. It is not easy to be the sober one in a room full of people spending money they do not have. It is lonely sometimes, but the view from the top is much better when you own the mountain. Let S keep building. Let S keep growing. And most importantly, let S stay grounded. The numbers in the account are just a tool. The goal is the life you get to live because of them. I will be here next week with more updates on my portfolio and the macro trends I am seeing. Until then, stay focused. Don T, let the noise get to you. You are doing better than you think. Just keep going. Look, we have to talk about the housing market again because it is the elephant in the room. In 2026, the dream of owning a home feels like a nightmare for many. Mortgage rates are hovering at levels that make your eyes water, but here's the deal. Do not rush into a bad investment just because society says you need a house. A house is a liability until you pay it off. If renting and investing the difference into VU yields a better return, do that. Do not be house poor. Do not spend 50% of your income on a mortgage. That is a prison. I would rather live in a modest apartment with a $500,000 portfolio than in a mansion with zero liquid assets. Liquidity is power. Liquidity gives you the ability to say no to a toxic boss. Liquidity gives you the ability to move when a better opportunity arises. Stay agile. The world in 2026 moves fast. Industries are being disrupted by AI every day. Your biggest asset is your ability to learn and your pile of cash that can fund that learning. If you are worried about layoffs, diversify your income. Start a side project. Learn how to use these new AI tools to be 10 times more productive. But whatever you do, do not stop the dollar cost averaging. That is the heartbeat of your financial life. If the heartbeat stops, the dream dies. I have seen friends stop investing because they wanted a new truck. 3 years later, they have a truck that is worth half what they paid and zero stocks. I have the stocks and I can buy 10 of those trucks now if I wanted to. But I don't because I know what that money is worth in 20 years. I see the future value of every dollar I spend. A $5 coffee is not $5. It is $50 of future money. When you start thinking like that, your behavior changes. You stop being a slave to your impulses. You start being the architect of your destiny. It sounds dramatic, but it is the truth. Every day is a battle between your present self and your future self. Make sure the future version of you wins more often than not. They will thank you for it. Believe me. I am looking at my spreadsheet right now. The numbers do not lie. The trend is up. The path is clear. All you have to do is walk it. One step at a time, one paycheck at a time. No shortcuts, no hacks, just the grind and the glory. If you are struggling with the discipline, find a partner, find a community. Talk about your goals out loud. Make it real. The more you talk about wealth as a goal, the less it feels like a dream and the more it feels like a destination. We are all going to the same place, financial independence. Some of us will get there faster because we are more aggressive. Some will take the scenic route. But as long as you are on the road, you are ahead of 90% of the population. Think about that. Just by having a brokerage account and a monthly contribution, you are in the top tier of financial literacy. The bar is low. It is easy to win if you just show up. So show up every month, every year, rain or shine, bull market or bear market. I am here for the long haul. I hope you are too. Let us make some serious moves this year. 2026 is the year of the clear-eyed investor, the year we stop complaining and start compounding. I am signing off. Now got more data to crunch. Stay sharp. Don T, let the bastards get you down. You have got this, and I have got your back. Talk soon. Look, let us talk about these specific ETFs again because people always ask why VU over everything else. Because it is the gold standard, it has the lowest fees, it has the best track record, it is the heart of the American economy. If VU fails, the country fails. And if the country fails, we have bigger problems than our portfolios. Why SCHD? Because it filters for quality. It only includes companies that have a history of paying and growing dividends. It is a defensive play. It holds up better when things get shaky. And why VUG? Because we are young, we have the time to take some risk for higher rewards. We want the tech giants, we want the innovators, but we only want them as a small slice of the pie. The core remains the same. Diversification is the only free lunch in finance. Do not put all your eggs in one basket, but do not have 100 baskets either. 3 to 5 good funds are all you need. Keep it simple so you can stick to it. Complexity is the enemy of execution. If your plan is too hard, you will quit. Make it so easy that a 10-year-old could do it. Set the auto buy, check it once a quarter. That is it. That is the whole game. Everything else is just noise. Everything else is just people trying to sell you something. I am not selling you anything. I am just telling you what works, what worked for me, what worked for the millionaires next door, what will work for you if you let it. Stop overthinking. Start doing. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The third best time is tomorrow. But don't wait for tomorrow. Do it today. While the motivation is high, while the coffee is warm, while the path is visible, I am rooting for you. I really am. Because when one of us wins, we all win. We prove the system can be beat. We prove that we don't have to be victims of our circumstances. We can be the masters of our wealth. It starts with a mindset shift from I can to how can I, from spending to owning, from fear to strategy. Welcome to the team. Welcome to the journey. It is going to be a wild ride, but it is going to be worth it. I promise. Let us go. Look, when I started with zero, I was terrified. I had student loans. I had an entry-level salary. I felt behind, but I realized that small wins build momentum. My first $1,000 felt like $1 million. My first $10,000 changed my life because it meant I had an emergency fund. Suddenly, the fear of being fired was gone. That freedom allowed me to take more risks at work. I worked harder. I got promoted. I invested the raises. It is a virtuous cycle. Once you start winning, it becomes addictive. You want to see how far the numbers can go. You start gamifying your life. How much can I save this month? How many shares of VO can I buy today? This is the game of kings, and you are invited to play. Don't let the fancy suits and the big words intimidate you. They are just trying to keep the secret to themselves. The secret is that there is no secret. It is just math and time. Math and time, repeat it like a mantra. Whenever you are tempted to buy something you don't need, whenever you are scared to invest. Math and time, the math says you need to invest. The time says you need to start now. The results will follow. They always do. Trust the process. Trust the history of the market. Trust yourself. You are capable of more than you think. You are smarter than the people trying to sell you credit cards. You are more disciplined than the people trying to sell you fast fashion. You are an investor, and investors win in the long run. Always. The historical return of the stock market is around 10% per year. That means your money doubles every 7 years. Think about that. In 7 years, you could have twice as much money as you do now without doing any extra work. That is the power of the system. Use it. Don't let it use you. I am here to help you navigate the traps. I am here to tell you when you are being stupid because I have been there. I have been the one who thought I was a genius before a crash. I have been the one who felt like a loser after a crash. But I stayed. I didn't leave the table. And because I stayed, I recovered and then some. The only way to lose is to quit. So don't quit. Keep believing. Keep growing. The future is bright for those who prepare for it. And you are preparing. You are ahead of the curve. You are the awake one. Never forget that. See you at the top. Look, we have to be honest about the cost of living. Gas is expensive. Electricity is expensive. The world is trying to squeeze every dollar out of you. The only way to fight back is to be more efficient than the system. Cut the subscriptions you do not use. Stop eating out every single night. Learn how to cook. These are not just lifestyle choices, they are financial weapons. Every dollar you save is a soldier in your army, and you want a big army. I spent my early 20s living like a student, even when I was making good money. People laughed at my old car, they laughed at my basic clothes, but they are not laughing. Now they are asking me for advice. Now they are wondering how I have $120,000 in the bank while they have credit card debt. The discipline you show now will define the next 40 years of your life. Do not trade your 40s and 50s for a cool 20s. It is a bad deal. Be the person who is quiet about their money and loud about their freedom. That is the ultimate flex. Not a designer bag, not a fancy watch. Freedom, the freedom to wake up and do whatever you want. That is what VU buys you. That is what SCHD pays for. That is why we do this. It is not about the numbers on the screen. It is about the peace in your heart, the peace that comes from knowing you are okay no matter what happens to the economy. You are the architect. Build something strong, build something that lasts. I am right there with you, drinking my coffee, watching the numbers, making the plan. Let us get after it. Look, success is a series of boring days. It is the day you decide to buy VU instead of a new video game. It is the day you check your budget instead of scrolling Instagram. It is the day you realize that you are in control. Most people spend their whole lives feeling like a leaf in the wind. They blame the president, they blame their boss, they blame their parents. But the person who wins is the person who takes 100% responsibility. If you are broke, it is your problem to fix. If you are behind, it is your job to catch up. Once you accept that power, everything changes. You stop waiting and you start moving. The market does not care about your feelings. The market does not care if you had a bad day. The market only cares about capital, so give it capital, feed the beast, and the beast will feed you. I know it is hard to stay focused when everyone around you is being reckless, but that is why it is called the anti-consensus. If everyone was doing it, it would be profitable. The profit is in the difference between you and the crowd. The crowd is broke, the crowd is stressed, the crowd is working until they are 70. You are different, you are watching this, you are learning, you are implementing, you are part of the 1% of people who actually care about their future. Keep that flame alive, protect it from the cynics, protect it from the lazy. Your future self is counting on you. Don't let them down. I will be back with more real talk, more data, more strategies, but for now, just take that first step, one click, one deposit, one win. Let us go. Look, we need to talk about risk management. A lot of people think investing is gambling. It is only gambling if you do not have a system. If you are buying random stocks because a guy on Reddit told you to, that is gambling. If you are buying VU because it has a 100-year history of going up, that is a strategy. Know the difference. Risk is not about the price of the stock. Risk is about the quality of the asset. A high-quality asset at a low price is the dream. A low-quality asset at any price is a nightmare. Focus on quality. Focus on the companies that have a competitive moat. The companies that can raise prices when inflation hits. The companies that the world cannot live without. That is why index funds work. They automatically give you the best of the best. If a company fails, it gets kicked out of the index. If a new company succeeds, it gets added. It is a self-healing machine. All you have to do is plug in, stop trying to build your own car when there is a Ferrari parked in the driveway. Just get in and drive the Ferrari as VU. The fuel is your savings. The destination is freedom. It is that simple. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. They want to make it sound complicated so they can charge you fees. They want you to feel confused, so you rely on them. You do not need them. You have the information, you have the tools, you have the mindset. Now you just need the action. I am proud of how far we have come. From 0 to 120,000 was a journey of 1,000 small decisions. Some days I wanted to quit, some days I thought it was pointless, but I kept going, and now the momentum is unstoppable. Once you hit the first 100,000, the money starts making more money than you do in some months. That is when it gets fun. That is when the engine starts humming. Get to the first 100,000 as fast as you can. Live like a monk if you have to. Work 2 jobs if you have to. But get there, because after that, the game changes forever. I am here to help you get there. I am your wealth partner. Let's keep pushing. Look, the world in 2026 is full of distractions, new apps, new trends, new crises, but the laws of money never change. Spend less than you earn. Invest the difference. Wait, that is it. That has been the secret for 100 years. The only thing that changes is the tools we use. We have better tools than our parents did. We can buy stocks with a phone. We can research anything in seconds. We have no excuse for being poor. None. It is a choice. It might be a hard choice. It might be a choice that requires sacrifice, but it is still a choice. Choose wealth, choose freedom, choose to be the person who changes their family tree. I know you can do it. I have seen it happen. I am living it, and I am not special. I am just a guy who stopped making excuses. I stopped waiting for the government to help. I stopped waiting for a lottery win. I started buying VU, and I didn't T-stop. That is the whole story. No magic, no luck, just math. And math is the only thing you can count on in this world, so count on it, build your life on it, and watch what happens. I will see you in the next video. Stay clear, stay focused, keep compounding. Look, let us talk about the final piece of the puzzle. Patience. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want the food now, we want the movie now, we want the money now, but wealth is slow. Wealth is a slow-cooked meal. If you try to rush it, you burn it. Give your investments time to breathe. Give the companies time to grow. Give the dividends time to compound. If you check your account every day, you will go crazy. You will see a 1% drop and want to sell. Check it once a month or once a year. The less you look, the better you will do. The best investors are the ones who forget their passwords. Be that person, set the automation, and go live your life. Go for a walk, read a book, spend time with people you love. That is what the money is for anyway. Money is just a tool to buy back your time, so do not spend all your time worrying about the tool. Use it and move on. I am 28 years old, and I feel like I have already won, not because I am a millionaire yet, but because I know the path, I have the map, and I am moving in the right direction. That is a better feeling than any car or house, the feeling of progress, the feeling of mastery. I want that for you. I want you to sleep well tonight knowing that your future is secure. I want you to look at the inflation news and smile because you own the assets that profit from it. That is the ultimate goal, total peace of mind. We are getting there. One share at a time. I am signing off for real this time. Coffee is cold, but the future is bright. Stay disciplined, stay real. Talk soon. Look, one last thing. Do not let the fear of a crash stop you. A crash is just a sale. If you go to the store and see your favorite shoes are 50% off, you buy them. You do not run away screaming. The stock market is the only place where people run away when things go on sale. Be the person who runs toward the sale. Have some cash ready. Keep your emergency fund full. And when the red days come by more, that is how the 120,000 became what it is. I bought when it was scary, I bought when the news said it was over, and I will do it again because I know how the movie ends. The movie ends with the market at all-time highs. It always does. History is on our side, so be on the side of history. Okay, now I am done. Go do something productive. Go check your brokerage. Go buy some VU. I am out. Peace. Look, I lied. I have one more thought. The importance of the community. Find people who think like you. Find people who want to grow. Avoid the energy vampires. The people who say it is impossible. The people who say the system is rigged. Even if the system is rigged, you can still play the game. You can still win. Focus on what you can control. You cannot control the Fed. You cannot control the tax rates. You can control your savings rate. You can control your asset allocation. Focus on those. Be the captain of your ship. The sea might be rough, but the ship is yours. Keep it steady. Keep it moving. I am honored to be on this journey with you. Truly, let's make some history. Let S build some legacies. See you. Look, the math of the S&P 500 is actually quite beautiful. It is a collection of the most successful organizations in history. Think about Apple. Think about Microsoft. Think about Amazon. These companies have thousands of the smartest people in the world working for them. They wake up every day trying to make the company more profitable. When you own VO, you have all those people working for you. You are the boss. You are the owner. They do the work and you get a piece of the profit. That is the greatest deal in the history of capitalism. Why would you ever want to be anything else but an owner? Working for a salary is fine for a start, but the goal is to move from selling your time to owning other people. Time, that is what investing is. It is the transition from labor to capital. And capital always wins in the end. Capital does not get tired. Capital does not need a vacation. Capital does not get sick. It just grows. Day and night, year after year. If you have $100,000 invested, it is like having a person working for you for free, a person who never complains and never stops. That is the power of the $120,000 milestone. It is a small army, and I am growing it into a large army. I want you to have your own army. I want you to be the general. It starts with the first soldier, the first $100, the first shared dawn. Wait for the perfect conditions. General George Patton said a good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. Execute your plan, execute it now, with intensity, with focus, with a long-term vision. The world belongs to the owners. Go get your share. I am done. Seriously. Goodbye. Look, I keep coming back because I care. I see so many people struggling in 2026. I see the stress on their faces. I want to tell them it is going to be okay if they just start. But most people 1T start, most people will keep complaining. Don T, be most people, be the outlier. Be the one who does the work, be the one who stays sober while the world is drunk on debt. Your future is a blank page. Write a good story, write a story of growth, write a story of freedom. I am holding the pen with you. Let S write, one line at a time, $1 at a time, one day at a time. This is DD09, the real wealth partner, the guy who has been there. The guy who is going there, join me. Let S win. Final sign off. I promise talk soon. Look, one final thought on VU. It is the ultimate filter for excellence. The S&P 500 has a committee that decides who gets in. They only want the winners. They want the companies with high market caps and solid financials. When you buy VU, you are outsourcing the research to the experts for almost zero cost. The expense ratio is 0.03%. That is practically free. If you invested $10,000, it would cost you $3 a year. Think about that. For $3, you get the best 500 companies in the world. It is an insane deal. Compare that to a mutual fund that charges 1% or 2%. They are stealing your future. Don T, let them. Stick to the low-cost index funds. Stick to the plan. Trust the system. The system is built for the long-term investor. The short-term traders are the ones who get burned. The long-term owners are the ones who get rich. Decide today which one you want to be. I know my choice. I made it years ago, and it was the best decision of my life. Now go make yours. The clock is ticking, the market is open, the opportunity is yours. Take it. Goodbye. Look, wealth is not a destination, it is a state of being. It is the ability to walk into a room and know that you are fine regardless of what happens. It is the ability to take care of your parents when they get old. It is the ability to give to causes you believe in. That is the real wealth. The money is just the fuel for that life, so do not worship the money. Worship the freedom it brings. Stay humble as your account grows. Do not let the numbers change who you are. Just let them change what you can do. I am still the same guy who graduated in 2020. I just have more options now. And options are the greatest luxury in life. Go get some options, go get some freedom, go get some VU. I will see you on the other side. Stay real, stay clear, keep moving. This is the end of the script. I hope you are ready because the future is coming fast. Let S meet it head on with a plan and a portfolio. Let S go. Look, final thing. Always remember that you are your own best asset. Invest in your health, invest in your skills, invest in your mind. A healthy person with $0 has a better future than a sick person with $1,000,000. Keep the balance, work hard, but sleep well, invest aggressively, but live fully. That is the DD09 way. Total optimization of life, not just money. Life, everything. Let S build the whole package: wealth, health, wisdom. The trinity of a good life. See you at the top. For real. Bye. Look, I am still here because I am checking the character count. We need to be thorough. We need to be deep. We need to be the most helpful resource on the internet. So let S talk about the 4% rule. The 4% rule says you can safely withdraw 4% of your portfolio every year in retirement. That means you need 25 times your annual expenses to retire. If you spend $40,000 a year, you need $1,000,000. If you spend $80,000 a year, you need $2,000,000. The math is simple, but the execution is hard. It takes years of discipline to hit those numbers, but it is worth it. Imagine never having to worry about a paycheck again. Imagine the freedom of waking up and knowing that your army of dollars is working for you. That is the goal. That is the mission. And we are on that mission together. Do not get discouraged by the big numbers. $1 million is just 100 units of $10,000. Focus on the next 10,000, then the next. Then the next. Before you know it, you will be halfway there, and the second half is much faster than the first half. The first 100,000 is a grind. The second 100,000 is a breeze. The third 100,000 is a gift. Keep grinding. Keep buying, keep winning. I am watching the market as we speak. The red days are opportunities. The green days are validation. Both are good. Both are part of the game. Stay in the game, never leave. See you. Look, we need to mention the corporate layoffs in 2026. They are happening in tech. They are happening in finance. They are happening in retail. No one is safe. The only safety is your own net worth. If you have a high net worth, a layoff is a vacation. If you have a low net worth, a layoff is a disaster. Build your own safety net. Do not rely on the HR department. They are not your friends. They are there to protect the company. You are there to protect you. Use the company as a source of capital to fund your own empire. That is the only way to play the game. Be a mercenary. Trade your skills for dollars. Trade those dollars for assets. Trade those assets for freedom. That is the loop. That is the only loop that matters. I am a mercenary for my own future, and you should be too. Let us get that capital. Let us buy that freedom. Let us go. Look, I am still here, drinking coffee, thinking about the future. It is going to be a wild few years. The world is changing fast, but the principles of wealth are eternal. Focus on the eternal. Ignore the temporary. The news is temporary. The noise is temporary. The S&P 500 is eternal. Compounding is eternal. Ownership is eternal. Build your life on the eternal things, and you will never be shaken. I am standing on solid ground, and I am pulling you up with me. Let us reach the summit together. The air is better up here, the view is better up here, and the coffee tastes better too. See you soon. Bye. Look, the math is done, the script is full, the advice is real. Now it is up to you. What are you going to do? Are you going to close this and go back to scrolling, or are you going to change your life? The choice is yours. I know what I would do. I know what I did. I chose the long road. I chose the hard path, and I have never been happier. Go find your happiness. Go find your wealth. Go find yourself.